Hello everyone and welcome to this video where I want to show my latest creation and talk about some of the physics related items that I see here in Stormworks that I would recommend to the developers, that if you ever get a chance, if you ever think about making a hotfix or a fix, that this would be something that you can implement. And I'll explain that as we go later on in this video. So, first of all, the miner is out. I'm sure some of you are already using that. We got some of these other vehicles here out now, including the dump truck, the GTC, and the trailer for mining. But the one thing that's not out yet is my massive haul truck. I'm so proud of this thing. I love it, and honestly, realistically, in real life, I'm quite obsessed with these vehicles. I've seen them in the Canadian oil sands, I've seen them in the Dominican, I've seen them in a bunch of mine sites that I've visited professionally, and I always did want to make one in Stormworks. So here it is. We can see that there is a fair bit of detail on the exterior, maybe not as much detail as some creators, but I didn't want to just purely develop it for the detail. I wanted to make it actually functional. So for that functionality, I actually have a bunch of hoppers in the back, enough that this thing can actually haul appropriately, I think 5,000 minerals or something like that. Now if we do climb up the stairs here, you come to kind of the hood actually, and I guess you could turn on these platform lights so at night it is nice and easy to see. Now here we have an intake, here we have the exhausts, and here we could see how much is in our hopper. Now below us is the massive large engine. Now I didn't want to go modular, and maybe at some point I change it, but for now it's just a large engine. And if we hop in here, you can see the cabin and sit down here, and we'll fire it up. It is a rad equipment machine. Now I will have to change the colors of this, but you can turn on the cameras. You can change the camera feed to actually see the top and the bottom. You can turn the heater on from here, and of course you can actually deploy the bed from here, or the hopper system, the dumper system, whatever you want to call it. So that is operated from here, and you could release the minerals and they will fall out of these chutes there. Of course, you could bring it back down and all the good stuff. So that is the creation. Yes, I didn't put GPS, I didn't put anything more fancy in here just because I think it's pretty self-explanatory, this vehicle. You know, it's supposed to drive you around the mine site and haul massive amounts of minerals to and from all kinds of locations. So you get that. You do have multi-steer that I went ahead and added, even using the large double wheels on the rear. There is performance mode, which gives you the full power. There is a trailer e-boost, and there is a low gear mode. Now there is actually a trailer hitch down there, but I love this thing. However, I do want to bring to the attention of other users some of the functionality issues. Now, maybe this is only my creation, but because I'm not too skilled at making these large wheeled vehicles, but I found that in using things like that and the dump truck over there, they can function pretty much realistically to what we expect in real life. However, these large wheels, even with the grip mode, really just don't grip. Now this is an empty truck, mind you, so if we try to do this with a full truck, it will definitely not be able to scale this. But can you see the amount we're just sliding around? And even if I turn on performance, even if I put low gear mode on, we're still falling down, we're still slipping, and the motors are still full power. Now, instead of the wheels just kind of spinning out, you can kind of see here, meaning there is too much power and not enough grip. I would really love to see for our larger creations like this, just a system implemented where we can actually use them realistically. Now I will play around with the gearing some more, but like even how it slides around, isn't really realistic on how a vehicle such as this with such large wheels would do. Now this one is full. You can see it has 4,000 minerals, and if we hop in here and put it on, this one is even full, so it's weighted down, meaning it would in theory be able to go even higher and faster. But you'll see that just does not happen. Even if I turn on performance mode, even if I turn on like even the low gear mode, but look at that, like it's just very unfortunate. Clearly it has the torque, the wheels are spinning like crazy, but it just does not want to climb up this hill. And for that reason, it also won't want to climb up the hill in the mine shaft itself. So pretty much that leaves this vehicle only for surface transportation around this mine site, which is quite unfortunate. I was really excited to release it and use it, but this is one of those things that I really do hope gets a hotfix soon. Otherwise, it just is the limitation of these larger vehicles and larger wheels that you just couldn't really make it scale up hills like that. Just for comparison, here I am in the miner vehicle, and this one might be even too grippy because it has like a 20-cylinder engine and whatnot, but you could see that it just climbs and scales this like no problem. And even when I turn it, watch this, it just turns on an absolute dime, whereas the other one was slipping and spinning around. Now of course, if you go too fast into corners like that, you'll kind of spin out, but it doesn't prevent you from climbing and scaling the actual area, whereas the big one would never see you climb up quite like this. So I definitely think it would be awesome to see a fix to bring those large wheeled vehicles and make them a little more useful, because right now I think I've kind of mastered the 3x3 wheels, and you could see, or even 5x5 wheels, but those large ones I just really can't get behind too much because of that reason. So I would like to see something. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comments. Maybe it's the gearing that can bring that big truck to be a bit more useful. Also, if it was purely engine related, you wouldn't have stuff like this where that front wheel is just purely skidding out and it barely wants to turn. Like, it really has a difficult time even managing turns because it's constantly in a state of sliding around the world rather than being actually able to drive. So that is one of the reasons. I mean, as much as I think it is partially maybe my gearing and this large motor, I also think that there is something to be said about the friction or grip of these wheels and how they perform. But let's say, for the sake of argument, or for argument's sake or whatever, if I just plop a massive motor right here. In fact, let's put 4 of them, just so I can really test to see if it is a limitation of that large engine that I'm using, and maybe I should get into modular systems, or in fact even a diesel electric, or maybe it comes down to a limitation of the wheel grippiness. So this is with full electric, infinite electricity on, with these massive motors. Clearly we have the torque. In fact, we're spinning around like crazy, but for some reason I just can't imagine this is how these wheels would behave. Like, if I turn the handbrake off and I just try to drive, it just goes crazy. Now again, maybe it's the gearing, but if it was purely the gearing, if I put it like the handbrake, it would definitely have a bit more kind of friction than what you see here. Anyway, whatever it is, I will be releasing this soon so everyone can enjoy it. I will be making a couple small changes and fixes, but that said, I do hope that everybody likes this creation and will kind of put it to use however they may see fit. So let me know in the comments if this is something that you'd like to see. I really do like making useful creations rather than purely aesthetic, because yeah, it does look cool, but it doesn't really perform adequately in my opinion. Regardless, it was too much effort to just throw away, so I will do something with it, and I will put it to some kind of use, but that said, not to the level that I was hoping to achieve here. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more creations, stay tuned for more videos, stay tuned for a bunch of fun stuff, and as always, happy Stormworksing everyone. See you next time.